Hello, teacher.
Hello, Alexander. How are you today?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm doing great. Also, thank you for asking, and I'm really happy to hear that you are well today. Okay, just give me a
Okay.
second, and then we are going to start. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, Alexander, welcome to the class. How are you today?
Hello, I'm very well.
Okay, I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you for joining on time. I know that, maybe it was kind of uh, late, so I'm really sorry because we are starting just at this time. But I'm really happy that we have the time to join. Okay, tell me, are you ready for today's class?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, pretty good. Well, let me tell you that today we are going to have a short, I will say that it'll be short about the use of yesterday's grammar, right? Do you remember
Yep.
yesterday? Okay, yesterday, as you may remember, we talked about a will and also going to. That's why in this opportunity, we are going to have a practice about those grammar topics. Just give me a second. Let me activate my camera. It's okay. Very well. Okay. In this moment, let me share my screen with you and we are going to start. Let me see. There you go. Esto explica mis problemas. Era este monstruo el que me esperaba aquí. Okay, very good. Remember, we are talking about plans for the future. And remember, Alexander, tomorrow is our last class. Just before we start, I wanted to mention that tomorrow is our last class of the year. So I hope we
Okay.
can, well, I hope you can join, okay? If you have any trouble to join, it will be great if you let me know. In case you have the time to join, I hope to see you here. Okay, very good. Well, As you can see today, we are talking about plans for the future using the auxiliaries for a future, will, and going to. Okay, to start with this, I would like to ask you, what are your New Year's resolutions? Before we start, do you know what are the resolutions?
No, I'm not sure what's mean. Maybe it could be the results or the things that I could finish at the end
Not
of the year.
really. The New Year's resolutions are the things you said, for example, on December 31st. The things you say, I'm going to do this next year. Okay. So all the objectives you have for the new year, those are
Okay.
the New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have some New Year's resolutions at the beginning of this year?
I guess is maybe was uh, continuing studying English.
Oh,
Uh,
that your objective from January
yeah,
1st in 2023?
yeah,
Okay,
maybe that
that's pretty
was.
good.
Mm-hmm. And I want to continue with that with the next year.
Okay, that's something awesome. Do you have, well, now for next year, do you have any other New Year's resolution?
Um, I guess I am in the process to complete some short resolution that I will maybe continue doing during the next couple of years. That is, for example, doing exercise to be healthy, continue learning English, um, and I guess just that. I don't have a big plan for the next couple of years. Maybe that's it.
Okay, but those are great opinions or great options, right? About some of the New Year's resolutions. Actually, most of the people at the beginning of a year, most of the people say, I want to do exercise, or I am going to do exercise. Sometimes they say, I am going to save money this year. And well, you know that sometimes it's kind of difficult to make them come true. However, it's great to have a clear idea of what you want to get, right? In this case, you want to get, for example, to do exercise, or you want uh, to continue learning English, and of course practicing and some other things, right? At least I think I will save more money. Okay, I think that's my resolution, that I will save more money for next year. I hope I will do it. Okay, so now, Alexander, thank you for sharing some of your objectives, some of the things you want to do for next year. As I told you, our class it's about plans for the future, using going to, and also using will. Just to start, I would like to continue practicing a little bit of both structures. Okay, to start, let's remember the use of will. Can you read the first example in affirmative, please?
I will pay.
As a
Uh,
contraction?
I'll pay.
Very good. As you can see, when we use will, it only has three parts in the sentence. First of all, it has the subject. After that, it has will, and then the verb in base form. Another important thing that a sentence using will has is the complement. However, in these examples, we don't have any complements. Let me see. I'm gonna write the structure. Subject, will, verb in base form, plus the complement. Okay, So this is a basic structure of a sentence using will, right? And then we have an example using going to. Let me read the example. He is going to pay. Now, as a contraction, he is going to pay. It's almost the same. As you can see, when we use going to, it's a little bit longer than using will, because when we use going to, well, as any sentence, we need to start with the subject, then we need the verb to be. After that, we need to use going to. And then we use a verb, okay, in base form, and then the complement, okay? So as you can see in this part, using going to is a little bit more, is a little bit longer than using will. But apart from having some differences in the structure, both are talking about the future, sorry. So that is something that we already know. And it's something that is always like that. But also they have some differences in use. For example, when we use will, do you remember, Alexander, what are the uses of will?
Will we can use will to predict something or to make a quick decision.
Nice job. Okay, you remember very well some of the uses that we have when we use will. As you can see here, well, one of the predictions in the examples is he will love your present. He will love your present. We are not sure about that, but we can predict it. And then for quick decisions, okay, we don't have milk. Don't worry, I'll buy some milk after work. So we decide in a quick moment, okay, without considering something too much, okay? These are the uses of will. Now, can you tell me what are the uses of going to?
Okay, we can use going um, to express situation in the future that we are 100% um, sure that will happen, and to predict something but using some evidence.
Nice job. Okay, so you have very well definitions of these uses, right? First of all, yesterday we mentioned about the plans, right? Any plan that you have organized with some time in advance, well, we have to use going to, because it's something you plan, you think about, you organize, and then you are going to develop that plan, okay? So we use going to because we took into consideration a lot of factors and a lot of things that will be important before taking a decision. After that, we have a going to for predictions. As you can see into the parentheses, we see something will happen. The difference, as you see, is the verb. Okay, the difference between will and going to is the verb that they express, or the way they express these predictions. For example, when we use will, we think something will happen. So it's not something clear. We don't have a clear idea of what is going to happen. However, when we use going to, we certainly can say what is going to happen, okay? Stop. We are going to crash. Look at the clouds. It's going to rain. As you can see, we have some evidence that we can see, not only think. We can see it, but we can see it. So that's the way, or that's the way we understand, or we know that something is going to happen. Okay. Then, as I told you, for decisions or plans, okay, I am going to have a drink after work. Okay, that's an example of something I plan with some time in advance. Okay, I think this is clear. Is it, Alexander?
Yes, is it?
Very good. Okay. So right now, I would like to continue with a grammar practice. As I told you, well, this is about practicing the use of will and going to. So let me see. Okay, let me show you right now the exercise we are going to complete. Okay, let me see if I can. No, it's okay. Like that. Okay. Well, as you can see over here, we have the instructions. Choose the correct forms of will and be going to complete the sentences below. Okay, in this opportunity, so you will have the chance to complete the sentences using will, going to, in affirmative, negative, or interrogative form, depending what's the case. Okay, right now, let's complete the first exercise together. We don't have any bread. I know. I
Will buy some.
I will buy some. I took some money from your purse. Okay. Well, this example, it's the answer. It's really clear because we did it in that way in the exercises we had on the platform. But now on the presentation. But now let's continue with our next sentences. We don't have any bread. Really, some from the shop then. So what do you think? What is the correct answer?
I will buy some from the shop then. I will get.
I will get. Okay, I'll get some from the shop then. Okay, thank you. Let's continue with the next one. I read the first part and you complete the next sentence, okay? Why do you need to borrow my suitcase?
Because I going to visit. I'm going to
I
visit
going
my
or
mother.
I am going?
I'm going to visit. I'm going to visit.
Okay.
Because I'm going to visit my mother in Scotland next month.
Well done. Okay, so we have a time expression, right? Next month. Okay, continue. Number 4. I am really cold.
I'll turn the heating on.
I'll turn.
I'll turn the heating on.
Okay, well done. Thank you. Now, what are your plans after you leave university?
I am going to work. I'm going to work in a hospital in Africa.
Okay, I am going to work in a hospital in Africa. Well done. All the lights have gone off.
Don't worry. I'll take a look.
I'll take a look. Well done. Okay, let me select the correct answer. I'll take a look. Okay, next one. Why are you carrying your laptop? Let me show you the answers.
I'm going to do some homework on the train.
I'm going to do. Okay, well done. I can't find my keys.
I'll help you look for them.
I'll help you. Well done.
I
Did you remember to buy the tickets?
Oh no, I forgot. I'll buy them online now.
Okay, thank you. And the last one. If you take a look at this graphic, you can see that the economy
Will will get worse very soon.
Will get worse very soon. Okay. Let's check right now together if all the answers are correct. Okay, there were some examples we completed together. Actually, it was only the first one. Then the rest of the sentences is your own work. So let's check. In this opportunity, our result is 8 out of 10. Okay, in the first one, I also make the mistake. Okay, we don't have any bread. I know. I took some money from your purse. Look at the explanation. I really like this. I really like this website, test-english, because in this website you have the opportunity to also have an explanation. It is a short explanation, or the reason why your sentences are correct or incorrect. Let's check. Use be going to for intentions or plans. The decision was made before speaking. In this case, look at this. I know, okay? Contrasting both sentences, number one and number two, as you see, the situation is the same. We don't have any bread, okay? In the first one, the person says, I know. So this person knew with some time in advance that there weren't any bread.
Yep.
In the second example, this person just realized at that moment. That's why in one sentence we have to use going to instead of using will, because in the first example, this person has, as it says on the explanation, this person has the intention to buy some bread. Okay, that's the reason why he took some money, okay, from a her purse. Okay, now that's the first example. Then in number two, as you can see, it's okay, I'll get. Okay, this person just decide at that moment. Okay, number three, it's okay. Number four, it's okay. Number five, it's okay. Number 6, 7, 8, 9. So what was the mistake in number 10? If you take a look at this graphic, you can see that the economy is going to get worse very soon. Okay, look at this. It's going to talk about something that you see is going to happen. Predictions based on present evidence. Question, Alexander, what is the evidence in this example? What is the present evidence?
The information that he is seen in the graphic.
Perfect. Okay, as you already said, well, on the graphic, they can see something related to the economy of the company. So as we know, that is present evidence. Okay, maybe they are in a very hard situation, economical situation, and it is shown on the graphic. Then, as a result, well, the economy is going to get worse. Okay. Well, you did an amazing job. Well, in the first example, as I told you, I also make a mistake because I didn't correct it at the beginning, but well, you have a great result. It was an 8 out of 10. So it's a good result. Okay, just continue practicing and remember, okay, try, well, we both have to identify or try to identify some words that show us what's the correct word or what is the correct auxiliary. Okay, Alex?
Okay.
Okay, pretty good. Right now, well, thank you for practicing this time. I would like to continue practicing our next activity. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yes.
Here I have an scenario. We know that the native people they only just learn how to speak or how to talk, and then they maybe um have to learn about rules about will or going to, maybe, or I don't know if this topic is if like in the school when you are in language learning about the apostrophe or the maybe some syntax that we need. I don't know if they study this topic or just they just learn how to when they need to use will or maybe when they need to use going to, because for example the last sentences number 10, they are talking about maybe some situation that we are not maybe sure that will happen in the future because it's just a prediction basic in information. But this is my maybe for my understanding. If I want to say that something I am really sure that will happen, I use going to based in some evidence. But I have to make the decision if I want to use will or going to, because is tomorrow will happen something before I speak, I have to decide. I know that tomorrow is our last maybe class for this year. You
Mhm.
are really sure that will happen. Then you can say, okay, tomorrow is going to our last class. Okay. Um, but you don't know if your class mate, not that your classmate or maybe the
The students. Uh-huh.
the student will be in the class, and then you can say tomorrow the student won't be in the class maybe. But the thing is, have you any idea if they study this situation in the school or on something, or they just know that based on I am sure that this will happen, then I will just going to, or I will just will.
Well, that's a great question, Alexander, because well, while you were talking, I was thinking about the answer, and my answer is I am not pretty sure. Okay,
Okay.
I have no idea about how well, not if they receive these kind of classes or not, but how they receive those classes, because it is supposed that when we are kids we start learning our even our own language, and we have seen it at school. When we were in first second grade, we learned about maybe not the rules, but we
Mhm.
learned about the specific or the words that we can use with other words, right? So the way grammar is used, even though it wasn't focused that much in grammar, right? For example, when we were in first grade, maybe our teacher helped us to learn the alphabet, the sound of every letter. And then in second, third grade, we learned maybe how to, what the parts of a sentence.
Yeah, the
Okay,
predicate, yeah.
so we learn it like in that way, right? Then maybe when we are in seventh, eighth, and ninth grade, we start learning about conjunctions, of
Mhm.
course, in Spanish, right? Conjunctions, different grammar tenses. However, without those classes, we learned how to speak and how to use it, right? Without learning those things, just because we listen to our parents, to our teachers, or to other people around us speaking and using specific words. That's why you could see a kid from or a kid of 5 or 6 years old and 6 years old, I'm sorry, and this kid speaks like like an adult or like a teenager because of the vocabulary he has learned from the people around him or her, right? So it's the same with these people, right? With American people or British people, they are supposed to learn these kind of topics at school when they are kids, but after learning that at school, well, they listen to their parents or to people around them, and of course they are going to use it as they understand these topics, right? It's
Yeah.
that's why people well, native speakers, native English speakers don't respect rules all the time. So maybe they respect the basic rules that we all know. For example, when using the verb to be, we have to use I am, you are. Okay, so maybe those are the basic rules, right? And they respect them. But when we are talking about, for example, um, deciding, as you mentioned, deciding if I use will or
Mm-hmm.
going to, maybe they don't focus that much in those details because those are at the end, those are just that, right? Details that American people take into account, or it is supposed that they take into account. Um,
Yeah, for my understanding, if I have to decide if I need to use will or going to, it's not natural to me because I have to think before to speak. And then if I can ex maybe give an example in Spanish. This is like when in Spanish you said, okay, alguien me dice, vas a ir a la fiesta mañana. Y yo le digo, ya vamos a ver. Eso es como usar will. Y si le
yes.
digo, sí voy a ir, ahí le estoy diciendo con going to. Entonces, al final, no estoy decidiendo si usar will o going to, sino que ya tengo una forma definida para decir las cosas. Y cabal, yo lo visualizo en español cuando le digo, ya vamos a ver. Es algo como, o cuando usted le dice a alguien, mira, vas a pasar por tal lugar, tal vez, no sé, ahí uso will, pero si estoy seguro que voy a pasar, le digo, sí voy a pasar ahí, o sí voy a ir, o sí lo voy a hacer,
Okay, I really
posiblemente.
appreciate.
Ajá.
Well, I really
Ujú,
appreciate your comment about this. Actually, even though you did it in Spanish, that's the way, or that it is supposed that a will and going to is divided in those two things, right? For example, if you or those two ideas, if you are sure about something, well, of course we have to use going to, right? And if you are not sure about something, in that case, it's better that you use will. Um, well, as you mentioned, or you gave me the examples, the first examples in English, and they were about, for example, I'm saying, tomorrow we are going to have our last class of the year. Maybe I am not sure about the attendance of my students, right?
ujú,
However, I have something is sure for me, and it's that I'm going to join the class because I am the
mm,
teacher. So even though you come or not, I'm going to be here. So that is something that we are sure. In those cases, maybe we can mention that, as you said, we are not sure about the future. Never. We are
ujú,
never sure about the future because I can plan to do something maybe tomorrow, but things can change, right?
ujú,
As we said, I can say, oh, tomorrow we are going to have our last class of the year. But imagine once again lights went off on my neighborhood, so I have no electricity, and it is not possible for us to have our classes. So
ujú.
that is something unexpected, right? In that case, those are unexpected things that, well, they happened as a coincidence. But if I have at least the intention, as it says, the intention to do something, well, in that case, it's better to use going to, okay?
Okay. Can we go to YouTube and look for some going and will example in real life now?
Okay, yes, give me a second. On YouTube, oh my God.